Hello and welcome to the channel and welcome back to Lost Reaction. This is season 2 episode 10 and I messed that up a little bit, didn't I? In the last episode we had a major mystery finally answered in what Kate did, and we found out what she did. I think maybe now is the time to take a small divertory ramble. If you want to get straight to the normal intro for this episode, go there. If you want to get straight to the reaction, okay, Ramble starts here. And I should point out that this is nothing to do with the plots or theory. This is really divertory and just additional information for the hell of it. I don't normally look at comments, as you know, just because sometimes people put spoilers in. But I happened to be on YouTube one day just after I'd published the last episode, and I got a comment that I happened to see. And as you know, I was talking about Echo's accent and where he might possibly come from, the character. I was assuming that the accent was being put on for the sake of the character. Now, we all know, we've proved from previous episodes that I'm really rubbish at identifying accents, so the suggestions were stab in the dark, based on the thought I thought it sounded French. Algernon Radish commented that the actor was actually from London, which is more my neck of the woods. I don't come from London, but my accent is easily confused with a London accent, so I forgive that. So I looked up the actor. And it turns out that he was born in, I think, Nigeria, can't remember. Anyway, that's not the point. He was brought up in a medium dock town called Tilbury, which is 21 miles east of London. It happens that I live, right now, 8 miles east of Tilbury. So when the commenter said that the actor was from my neck of the woods, you don't know how accurate you were. Right, Ramble 2 has to do with names. Now obviously I was on Wikipedia looking up Echo's actors' credentials, and I thought, why not look up their names? Because I remember my time doing Ruby reactions, the writers like to put clues and Easter eggs into people's names. Admittedly, their names were a lot more flamboyant than our characters' names are in Lost. And I'm pretty sure that the writers have chosen the names they have chosen purely because they sound right and they fit the character's ethnicity and country of origin. But I thought maybe just one or two might have been chosen for the meaning, as a little clue, a little Easter egg. So I went down that rabbit hole. So we'll start with Echo. Echo, the only derivative I found for Echo as a name, spelled E-K-O, was Indonesian. And it means first child. Yeah, okay. There's nothing there. There's a few other that derive from non-Christian, non-Western origins. Shannon is pre-Christian Irish. The Shannon is Ireland's biggest river, so it stands to reason that Shannon means old river. Saeed means lord or master, but it's a fairly common name, I think. Jin Jin seems to be of Chinese origin and means golden. Sun. Sun was very, very complicated. I couldn't get a clear definition of sun. You'd think that name would be quite easy to translate. But no. Apparently the word sun needs some sort of prefix or suffix, and without it, it has a possibility of something like 33 different meanings. And if you include Japanese and Chinese origins into it, it's something like 46. So, don't know what sun means. Bernard, or Bernard, or Bernhard, means brave. Jack means man or boy. But weirdly enough, it can also mean the same as John, which I'll get to in a minute. Aaron, we already know, means mountain of strength, but it can also mean the bearer of martyrs. Makes you think. James. So obviously Sawyer isn't his real name, and that would be a surname anyway, and I'm only doing first names or given names, because if I start to look up their full names, I get diverted to Wikipedia lost pages and I get spoilers, so I had to be a little bit selective on this one. James means supplanter. Interesting. Rose means exactly what you think it means. It's named after the flower. Charlie, or Charles, or Charles, means free man. And he is certainly free of drugs now. Hugo means mind. I wasn't expecting that one. And here we have a few that, a little bit weird. Claire means bright or clear, whereas Kate means pure or clear. Anna Lucia means glorious light. And Cindy is actually short for a lot of different names, but I went with Lucinda, which means illumination, which kind of pairs up with the glorious light. A boon means blessing. I didn't really need to look that one up. I could have worked that one out for myself, but I'm thick sometimes. John, and sometimes Jack, means grace of God. And given the way that John behaves, that's quite fitting. Michael means like God. Libby, again, is short for many different names, but I went with Elizabeth, which means God's promise. Danielle, the French girl, her name means God is judge, or God is the judge. Nathan means he gave, and he certainly did. He gave his life. The last three are the three that I thought were a little bit too on the nose, so to speak. Goodwin means friend of God, and considering he was one of the others, that did make me think. Ethan means strong, enduring and long-lived. Again, considering he was one of the others, that makes you think. And the last one is the one that scared me the most. Its meaning is not exactly on the nose at the moment, but the implications of it are scary. Walter means ruler of the army. I'll just leave you with that one. Ruler of the army. What army? Whose army? Is that why they want Walt? I think Walt's name, among all the other names, Walt's name is the one I think has been chosen deliberately. Now, as I said, I didn't go into family names or surnames because I didn't want to go there. Plus the fact I don't actually know off by heart everyone's surname yet. Well, there you have it. I thought that's a nice little diversion. Probably doesn't mean anything. We'll find out. Right, the second part of my ramble, yes, it continues. This is a long one. Is to do with the parallels I've mentioned before, but I can't remember if I've actually mentioned all the parallels that I've noted. And I'm sure there's more that I've missed or I'm just not seeing yet. But these are the ones that I've actually noticed. Shannon had a rich lifestyle. Should we say she had riches, or she had access to riches, and then had them taken away? Whereas Hugo started off with nothing, and then had riches given to him by dint of the lottery, admittedly, but the parallel still stands. Boone and Son are both rich by the actions of their own fathers. Next, Anna killed someone who was guilty in revenge, whereas Sawyer killed someone who was innocent in revenge. Kate killed someone guilty. As yet, I don't know really what her reasons were in her heart, but I'll come back to that particular conversation in my normal intro in a little while. We also have that Jin and Saeed both hurt people for a living. Mike had a son taken by the others, whereas Danielle had a daughter taken by the others. Claire was travelling potentially to give up a child, whereas Mike was travelling having regained one. Charlie was visiting his brother, whereas Boone was visiting his stepsister, admittedly, but Jack was flying after recovering his father's body. Jack was flying to arrange and attend a funeral, whereas Saeed was travelling after having already attended one. Immediately prior to the flight, Jack had just lost his father, whereas Walt had just lost his mother. Both Hugo and Sawyer regularly use fake names. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got at the moment. There are others. I mean, I'm still curious as to how John was paralysed and see if that has a parallel with how Sarah was nearly paralysed. And there's probably other parallels going on, but they're the only ones I've noticed so far. Right, now I'm going to get on with my normal intro. In the last episode, I had a couple of things going on. First thing I want to discuss is the ending. Walt contacts the computer. Oh, rephrase that. Walt, or something pretending to be Walt, contacted the computer, and Mike stupidly answered. I think stupidly because Mike, although he didn't watch the film with the reinserted part, he did watch the original cut film, and I think there was enough information in that film to know not to use the computer for anything else other than the button thing. He would have had all this explained to him by John and Jack as well. So I think he was really stupid to start trying to contact back and reply without discussing it with John or Jack or anybody else. Mike's actions throughout this season have really lowered my opinion of him, I've got to say. Okay, the main part is Kate. Kate is a murderer, a patricider, because Wayne was her father. So, yeah, what are the implications there? Well, I can't really blame her if she did it for the reasons that she stated. But one thing I've learned, especially from being a long-time fan of Doctor Who, is characters lie. Characters lie for all sorts of reasons, just like real people. They lie to protect themselves, they lie to protect others, they lie to get what they want. They lie simply because they cannot face the truth. Given that these are TV characters, we also have the other reason, in that characters lie because the writers have decided to retcon a story or have decided to take a character's growth in a different direction. Characters also lie with their words, their mouths, their smiles, their actions, everything. The question is, how subtle are the writers? It's one of the reasons why, if I don't see something on screen with my own eyes, I treat it with scepticism. This applied for quite a while to Shannon's domestic abuse story. Everything in the episode implied that she was lying. But because she never admitted to it, and because we only had Boone's comment on that, I was willing to accept that maybe it did happen. Exactly the way Shannon said it did. And that maybe her boyfriend had pressured her into writing that note. Then, of course, we've got Shannon's backstory a little bit and a little bit of context. And, yeah, it does seem like she was lying. But I'm still on the fence a little bit on that one. Same goes with Kate. There's no evidence as such that Kate's mother was indeed the victim of domestic abuse. The implications are there, and to be quite honest, I firmly believe that that was indeed the case. But we only have Kate's explanation for it as proof. It's a tough moral one. Yeah, and there's also of why did Kate do it. I know Kate said she was doing it for her mother, but what were her real reasons in her heart? Was it because he was starting on her? We saw evidence of a little arse grab while he was drunk and being put to bed. Could that be the reason? He didn't want him to start on her because obviously she knew that he was her father. Or was it because she's a total psychopath and just really wanted to blow him up? And indeed, how premeditated was that? We had a cutscene from her putting him to bed to her in the car or walking towards the car and then the big explosion. How much time had passed between that cutscene? Was it 5 minutes, enough time for her to put him to bed, light a pre-planted explosive and then walk out? Or was it half an hour while she dosed the stuff with petrol? How premeditated was that murder? And did she do it for the reasons she stated? I'm going to have to go with yes and yes at the moment because I have no context. But there's doubt in my mind because characters lie. Also, with this show in particular, I mean, that lying thing applies to all shows. But with this show, we also have hallucinations and illusions and visions and unexplained things. So we're also left with doubting our own eyes. Did we see what we really did see? For instance, did Sawyer actually channel Wayne for that brief time when he said, "Why did you kill me?" Or was that Kate's guilty hallucination? This is why I go on tangents, because you can never trust what you're seeing and never trust what you're hearing. Anyway, on to this episode, the 23rd Psalm. I know this one. Lord is my shepherd. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, etc., etc. Is this implying that there's going to be another death? It's usually a funeral psalm. So, is this again to do with Shannon's death, or are we going to discover Cindy's died? Or is it going to be Sawyer? Is he going to take a turn for the worse? Or is this going to be about maybe Jack's dad? Well, it could be anything really, couldn't it? I don't know. Let's get on with it. This is about Echo. Nigeria, I reckon. Nigeria, Cameroon, maybe. They're into their football big. Oh God. Really?
Kill him.
That's sick.
Shoot him. Do it.
Could be his granddad or something.
What's your name, boy? What's your name, boy?
Echo.
A born killer.
No. He didn't do it for those reasons.
Come.
He did it to save his...
You won't need that anymore. Back.
Save his brother's soul. Is that his brother? Even if it's not his family brother, it is his brother.
So you're Echo, huh?
Yes.
Claire. And this is Aaron.
Aaron. The brother of Moses.
Yeah, that must have been tough to live up to,
Oh,
right?
I didn't know that.
Pressure of everyone saying, why can't you be more like your brother Moses? So you're religious, huh? You should speak to Charlie. He doesn't want to admit he's religious, but he carries around a statue of the Virgin Mary.
She hasn't got it yet.
Statue.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows
He
something
says he
about
found it
that.
on the island.
They said the drug runners came from that part of the world.
Where did he find this?
He said he found it in the jungle.
Where in the jungle?
I don't know.
Where is Charlie?
Maybe the same gang that, or the same rebel force that Echo was conscripted to. Oh, Echo means business.
Where did you find this?
What happened?
Where did you find it?
In the jungle. I found it in the jungle.
Take me there.
Let me go tell Claire so she doesn't get the wrong idea. Wait here.
Tell her on the way.
What?
I'm not just some guy you can just
Smoke. I saw it.
What?
We're seeing it now.
What?
Let's go.
Hello, Echo.
Hello, brother.
Ah, his brother became a priest. That's good.
So I come to visit you for the first time in 3 years, and you won't hear my confession. You know, Monsignor would have said he failed to raise a proper Catholic boy.
Why are you here, Echo?
I've come to help you. I have some merchandise that I need to get out of the country. I would like to use one of your church relief flights to transport it.
It's good to see you again, brother.
Did someone survive? How many years ago was it?
A priest? You know that guy?
Yes. This man saved my life.
How dare you come here and disrupt my work?
Have you reconsidered?
What?
My request.
Flying drugs under the cover of the church? How's that something I could ever reconsider?
No, hey, don't touch those!
I'm going to make this easy for you. You will make us priests and we will fly the drugs out ourselves.
Oh, right.
Priests?
Just sign these ordination documents and I will give you the money for the vaccines. I am your brother and I would never do anything to hurt you. But my friends, if you do not do what I ask, they will burn this church to the ground. Is that worth less than the price of your name on a piece of paper?
Oh God, it likes throwing up these moral debatable questions, doesn't it?
I'm lost.
It was dark. I was following Saeed. Right afterwards, a big bag of rocks fell on my head, so I'm sorry if I'm a bit spotty with the geography.
Is he looking for Smokey? Whoa!
Echo! Run!
What? They're all seeing it. Are they all seeing it? It is the smoke. It's just the smoke. The hell is it? We definitely got here now. And he recognises it. Obviously he didn't go on the plane. Is he actually on the plane? Has he been on the island longer than we think? It's his brother come to take his place or something.
What are you doing here again?
I came to stop you.
Go back to your church.
Do not get on that plane, Echo.
Uh-oh.
He called the military!
They need to get going now. Oh dear, oh dear. They started a war. Well, I think they were already at war. Oh no! I was expecting that. Just left him there. Yep, that's his brother. Who was the other guy then? He's just his friend.
Father.
Are you okay, Father?
He took his brother's place and got out of the regime.
For the one I broke.
Are you a priest or aren't you?
Yes.
I am.
So they're behaving like a proper community now.
It made me feel safer to have it around.
Look, I can't have you around my baby, okay?
Claire, I don't want...
Charlie, I don't want you sleeping anywhere near us, okay? Just go.
Well, yeah, you can't have heroin near a child. I can see a point of view, but... Oh, I like Charlie and Claire. Yeah, and it doesn't seem as if Claire even cares. Oh my god, he's collecting them. Oh, yeah, no, maybe Claire was right. Okay, well, a lot happened in that episode, and also at the same time, not a lot happened. It was mostly concerned with Echo's backstory, and also Echo's forward story, reconciling the past and the present. But there was a couple of other things I want to touch on first. First one was the fact that Mike now has a gun, which I think is a very bad idea. And although he said that it was a stupid idea to go after Walt and that he wasn't going to do it, and to be quite honest, during that scene I believed him, right at the end he gives a look and I just know he's lying. I know he's going to go off searching for Walt on his own, and that is really, really stupid, like he said. Not only for the fact that he's got friends and allies and people that actually care about him and Walt, that would be willing to help him. But no, I think Mike's just going to go off and do it on his own. Like the bull-headed person he is. What else did we have? Charlie at the end hoarding the heroin inside the Marys, the Virgin Marys. I believed him. Again, lies, lies, lies. I believed him when he said he wanted it for purely religious reasons. Mainly for the fact that he hadn't broken the Virgin Mary up to get to the heroin inside. But now he's hoarding them. For religious purposes, he only needs one. And he's got about 6 in there. So he's hoarding heroin. But why? For... I beg your pardon. Is it possibly because he's thinking about going back on it again? You don't plan something like that. No, it doesn't make any sense to me why he's hoarding it. Okay, Echo's backstory. Reconciling the past and the present. He is the one that was responsible for the plane and for the heroin. And we have another backstory where we have a beautiful, kind soul in Echo that has gone down a path of, well, you can only describe it as evil. His intentions may not have been evil. Like he said, he was just doing what he needed to survive, and he was taken at gunpoint as a kid. But he's still gone down that path anyway. Episodes like this, I really wish I had a second person here with me that I can debate this with and get a good discourse going. Because I just feel as though I'm sometimes just going round in circles on my own opinions and not really making any headway. Having a second person to discuss it with can open up some new ways of thinking. I may need to watch this episode again just to appreciate Echo's back life. And the fact that at the end his own brother kind of took his place on the plane, died for him, kind of has religious undertones. But the fact that Echo then took his brother's place as a priest, having already as a child saved his brother's soul, so to speak, I thought that was some beautiful parallels with, well, with the religion that Echo holds so dear. And then we're going to come to the scene that I'm sure you want me to discuss, and I really have nothing to say about it because it was beyond anything that I was expecting, and that is Smokey. Approached in the same way as it approached John, but this time we, the audience, and a bystander in the form of Charlie, gets to see what's going on. And we see the smoke. And the camera kind of passed through the smoke, and we got all these sound effects. It was beautiful on the ears. It's crackling, groaning, wheezing, roaring sounds. Mechanical and yet also animalistic, and also reminiscent of very naturist things like thunder and lightning. There was a lot of things going on in that brief pass, but what to make of it, I don't know. But I do believe now that it is definitely sentient. It knew what it was doing. I just don't know what it was doing. But Echo was unafraid, exactly the same as John, and maybe it's got to be thinking to maybe the smoke isn't the horror on this island. Maybe there's something else. I did go through the path that there was two different things going on, and I rejected that when I learnt that Smokey and Big Giraffe thing were the same thing. I think maybe there's something else on the island that we haven't seen or experienced yet, or we have, but we have misappropriated it to the smoke. And that's all I have to say about it. I don't know, but I'm hoping now that the precedent has been set that we're going to get to see Smokey more and maybe learn a little bit more about that mystery. Something tells me that Smokey is the biggest mystery on the island and is the one that's going to take all 6 seasons to explain. But maybe not, maybe not. Maybe there's more to come. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, keep well. Bye bye.